Well, congratulations to you both on the film.
So
it's so lovely to have Paddington back.
Oh,
it's been too long. And Dougal, of course, this is your first feature film.
I know, God. Yeah.
And your background is actually in TV advertising.
It is.
John Lewis TV commercials particularly.
Shorter form, yes.
Were you always thinking of having a career in movies, or was this an opportunity that just came your way and there was no way you could turn it down?
Well, exactly. I always had a sort of vague aspiration that the shorter form things would result in something longer form coming along, but I always ended up getting distracted by the next shorter form thing. Then Rosie came along and offered this to me, and while it was very flattering, it was also terrifying to follow number one, number two, because which fool would try and follow those? Well,
you went for it, and absolutely right.
Well, I guess I thought I might regret it if I didn't, so I just I went for it, and then fear is a great motivator as well. So yeah.
Rosie, how did you go about choosing the director for this third outing for Paddington? Because there must have been so many people who would have wanted this gig.
Well, I'd had the advantage of working closely with Paul King on the first two, and he also was a new director really when we worked with him on those. And so I knew the kind of theatrical, visually inventive, big-hearted, witty director that we needed, and I knew there weren't very many of them. But I did know Dougal's work, and I'd always really admired it, and I'd met him a few years previously, and he'd always stayed in my mind as this lovely, original, maverick, imaginative soul with I felt a strong inner Paddington. So when we knew that Paul was going to make Wonka, literally the only person I could think of who felt like he had the right suite of ideal qualities was Dougal, and it's been a joy working with him, and it's been really exciting to see what a beautiful first film he's made.
So were there any other reasons that you wanted him for the job? And don't spare his blushes, by the way.
Well, I mean, I just, he's imaginative, inventive, big-hearted, wonderful with comedy,
punctual.
And as I say, has the right Paddington spirit. So these are all the quality. It makes you laugh, it makes you cry, and incredible world creator. Oh, and also very rigorous and meticulous in how he executes everything. So
a lot of rigor.
He manages. So he manages to nail tone. Yeah. Nailing the tone is a key attribute for a Paddington director.
Getting that tone, nailing.
But what was it like being the new boy? Because you were surrounded by people who'd worked on one, if not both, of the other films. Yeah. How easy was it for you to settle in?
Well, I mean, I'm still nervous about the result. Obviously, it's it's some I can't help feeling slightly arrogant, suggesting that I could direct the next Paddington film, but somehow I have. But they were very, very welcoming. The family that were already there, not literally the Brown family, but also the family of filmmakers I was working with. Worked with the same cinematographer as the first two films, Eric Wilson, fantastic Norwegian cinematographer. You can really see the Norwegian-ness in his cinematography. And then I had the wonderful animation director, Pablo Grillo from Framestore, who was an absolute wizard and, was a real right-hand man in terms of planning Paddington sequences and drawing things with him and working out, action sequences. He was fantastic. And then obviously the cast were wonderful and welcoming, and Rosie and the studio. I really felt I was in a very friendly environment, so that was nice because I needed it.
So how much pressure did you both feel under to deliver? Because obviously the first two films have been such a success, and you're taking Paddington out of his familiar territory as well, away from London.
We felt huge pressure, but at the same time, when you plunge into creative projects, you're really thinking just about trying to make that come alive in the best possible way. And it's such a joy collaborating with others, and a group of people gets together, and this amazing, slightly magical alchemy happens of things just, you know, suddenly, I mean, it's a miracle any film gets made, that somehow you put a group of people together and they're all working towards a single goal, and you just do enjoy that. So huge pressure, but it was a joy and a privilege and an honour to be able to even have the chance to work on a Paddington film.
So how much are you both fans of what I would call classic British comedy? Because I definitely spotted some Wallace and Gromit references in there
yes.
with the newspapers. And also that ghost family looked like they were lifted straight out of Kind Hearts and Coronets.
Yeah,
They were.
It's a love letter to, Paddington's a love letter to cinema. It's filled with Powell and Pressburger references, Indiana Jones, Sound of Music, Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin, Ealing comedy, the Gascoigne family, everything. Werner Herzog.
Yeah. No, we peppered it with references, but you're quite right in picking up Alec Guinness playing the Gascoigne family, absolutely, yeah.
There's also a sense, I think, of paying homage to the previous two films. There are some definite throwback scenes. How important did you both feel that was?
Very important. It had to feel like it was part of the family, and weaving moments in and characters in, and you know, it's the way it's constructed, where there's setups and payoffs. I really loved the way Paul had done that, so I was aspiring to make it feel like that as well.
And you've got a new member of the cast in Olivia Colman, who of course shares some scenes with Julie Walters, and they're both terrible gigglers. I just wondered who the first one was to corpse on set. And how often did it happen? I'm suspecting a lot.
Well, actually, no, I think they were very, they managed to hold off corpsing, but they did really enjoy each other's company. It was the first time they'd ever acted together, and there was such mutual respect, and they really enjoyed sparking off each other.
They make such a good double act. They really, really do. It worked an absolute treat. One final question. I'm assuming you both like marmalade. I mean, that's kind of a given, but chunky or thin cut?
Chunky for me, and
Good
I think
man.
lime for you, right?
Rose's lime marmalade is
Oh,
the one
lime!
I love.
God, I used to love that when I was a child, but not orange at all.
I don't quite like orange marmalade, but it's really Rose's lime marmalade, and I particularly like the jars that comes in as well.
Okay. Well, as long as you spread it nice and thick like Paddington does, it
Absolutely.
doesn't really matter.
I'm not so keen on the stuff with ginger in it. You know,
No, that's probably going a bit over the top, but nice and chunky, that'll do.